Here lately, instead of sliding through, picking something up, I'm grabbing his hand right here.
You know, we got our dope spot here. We used to be like in Ybor, like on 8th and 15th Avenue, and we were sharing a building with a gay bathhouse. But they were the nicest people, though. They would come over, they say hello every now and then. I think some dudes were like smoking in the back all the time. You could smell it. But we actually have our own spot now, and you know, you see, like, if you look up here, we've got like a ton of like flags representing a bunch of different countries. Obviously, we've got some really dope murals. This is probably like, I call this like Switzerland of Tampa, because this is like where everybody comes to cross train. Like, it doesn't matter what gym you're from or, you know, who you're affiliated under. Like, everybody loves to come here and train. Like, you can be from anywhere, you know, especially Sunday open mats. Sunday open mats are probably the biggest thing in Tampa, you know, as far as jiu-jitsu goes. I know people that drive from Orlando just to come on Sunday.
He can't return guard, he can't do anything. I'm glued to his body. He's super stuffed. Let me do all that fun stuff like digging your head, just finding you right here, and walk your way in.
We got Christopher Reed. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, as well as Joey Best. He's my black belt as well. And they're two of the best guys in Tampa, in my opinion, especially Joey. Joey's, you know, he's a smaller guy, so he's more technical than most big guys would be. You know, not that he can't show a big man move, but he's super technical. You know, and for me, I'm not like the strongest person. I'm athletic, but, you know, I'm not the strongest person, so it helps me to know like the small details, the perfect technique that'll work against someone who is stronger than me or bigger than me. Yeah, you know, this is my family. This is my family away from my real family. When I come in here, it's always great vibes. I feel awesome coming here. I'm kind of sad that I only come here 2 days a week, but, you know, that's just my schedule. Just that's how it works out. This is the girls' locker room. So, you know, Joey puts my poster right here, and then I fought Damon Blackshear, who he actually beat me. That was actually my last loss, my most recent loss. He's fought since then. He's fought for CFFC, for the belt. He's fought for CES, I think, a couple times. So he's working his way up. Yeah, so, you know, ladies that come into Ybor Jiu-Jitsu Club, you know, when you're getting dressed or whatever, you can check out my poster, I guess, and then come out and see me, and we can roll. This is my mom, Rosalinda.
Hello.
And yeah, so she's my #1 fan, and she's always taking care of me, and, you know, I'm appreciative and grateful. She's actually the one who found my first martial arts gym to train at, because, you know, in between, I think I've told the story a million times, but like in between wrestling seasons, we didn't have a wrestling club or anything, so to stay in shape, I told my mom, I was like, can you find me a martial arts gym that I could train at, preferably that has MMA. And it was Tiger Schulman's, but they were transitioning into an MMA school. They were still Tiger Schulman's Karate, which they transitioned over to TS MMA instead. But that was the first gym, and you know, she paid, you know, my tuition or my monthly bills until basically they told me, like, I guess they saw something in me, and they were like, we're gonna let you train for free. Mm. And we're gonna, you know, eventually send you up to Tiger Schulman to train with him up in New York. Mm. And I actually, to buy my sparring gear, the sparring gear was like $300 for the whole, like, shin guards, foot guards, gloves, headgear. So what I did was, because we couldn't afford that, I had to wear a Tiger Schulman's tiger suit at the mall. I would go to West Shore Mall with one of the girls that worked there, and I wore this tiger suit and, like, you know, played with kids. I was like the mascot, and then, like, we would try to, like, get people to sign up for like a free week or whatever. So I was if you ever saw me at Tiger Show, or you ever saw me at the West Shore Mall with a tiger suit, that was me. This is my pro debut. These are the original. Obviously, these are the wraps. This is all dried up blood because there was a lot of blood in that fight. My mouthpiece, the ticket. So if you see, my shorts are completely soaked in blood. They were white when I bought them. And that was my pro debut, you know, against Brad May. He was tough for 3 rounds. He didn't quit. And my girlfriend actually made this shadow box for me just to keep. So I think this is pretty cool. And this is pretty, like, you know, when I get a house, hopefully soon, when I get my own house, it's going to go up somewhere. Oh, that's me right there in the corner, trying to be super serious. I got the brim pulled down over my eyebrows, basically, and the chin strap on. Everybody's doing goofy stuff, and I'm being dead serious. Yeah, I was good on the saxophone. That was good. This is my very first amateur trophy from Cage Brawl 1. This was the first show that they ever threw. And okay, February 19th, 2010. And this was in Tennessee. And we got a medal. And then when you won, you got this little guy. And that was Shane Goins and Jeremy Judd. Those were the promoters, and that was probably one of the best amateur shows I've ever fought for. It was like UFC production. Like, Cage Brawl was awesome. I fought for them multiple times. And you had full ground and pound rules, no shin guards, so it was basically like a pro fight for the most part. And the funny thing is, like, when we brought this back on the plane, I want to say, oh yeah, his arm broke off. We had to super glue his arm back on. So it was like my very first trophy. His arm got broken. He's good now, so he's still here. He's still around. And I thought that was a pretty dope prize. And then these are also from Cage Brawl. These two trophies here. They gave you. So they went from this guy to these big trophies. So then July 8th, 2011. And then this was September 24th, 2010. So this was after the first one. So, I mean, to win big trophy, I mean, it's kind of like when you win, they treat it as like a martial arts tournament. You know how martial arts tournaments, they get those big old trophies, but most fights, you don't get anything, right? When do you see amateurs get anything? Unless it's a championship fight and they get a belt. I like trophies like this. I think this is cool when you win. I mean, it might cost a little bit, but man, if you're throwing a promotion, I think that's dope. This was my first amateur belt right here. This thing's serious, okay? This thing's mad heavy. This is real leather too. This is a serious belt. And I think I put it on one time, like right after the fight, and it stayed up. And then every time I tried to put it on after that, it never stayed up. I don't know what happened. But it says Donnie Hare. Okay, so Donnie Hare presents. This was his. Man, what was it? Donnie Hare. I want to say it's like Extreme Fights. I can't remember what the name of the organization was called, but he passed away. So rest in peace, Donnie Hare. He was cool. Donnie Hare presents Day of the Warrior. This was May 26, 2012 in Melbourne. And this was for the ISCF Florida Featherweight Championship. So at one point, I was the state champ. Yeah, and I fought Justin Curlin. It was a tough fight, 3-round amateur fight. And Justin was a savage, and I learned a lot in that fight, and I gained a lot mentally. And he also went professional and fought for the RFC as well. So, you know, it all comes back around. We all meet up later on. But, yeah, this is my one and only belt. Hopefully get the UFC belt soon. I mean, I visualize, you know, I've been doing this since an amateur, is I'll visualize like myself in the back room, you know, or even before I even get to the venue, like waking up in the morning, you know, having whatever meal I'm gonna have, and then getting a shakeout in, like getting an early, you know, mid workout in before we even go to the venue, and then picturing myself showing up to the venue in the back, getting my hands wrapped, warming up, you know, trying to get that feeling. And then the walkout, you know, all that stuff before we even get to the cage. And then, you know, eventually I'll make it to the cage, and then, you know, that's when, you know, I start visualizing all the situations and whatnot.
It's a quick hit, and it's a quick solution where you can really center on the breath and really get in the habit of, and it puts you in a very lucky and calm mind. It's really, really good. I mean, I know you've had a cold shower before, I don't need to tell you.
Yeah. Right.
If you want to do some breathing and getting in the rhythm of it, try that to begin with. It's
Okay.
a really, really, really good solution. And I do it, and I always say to to other athletes that I'm working with, try this, it's a good solution to use. So that's another thing you could try, just to get a bit more mindful and kind of be in the moment with it, and make sure it's fucking cold.
Yeah,
because
for
if
sure.
you just have it cold, it doesn't work. You got to be like, the reason if you go into that panic mode and it's calming, it's bringing the brain into a different sort of state instead of it being in panic. Like it's like it's just dealing with the moment, really embracing the breath, and going from there with it.
We just got back from walking the dog, Dixie, that y'all see every day. And I also had my first Skype session with Frazier from Kaizen Mentality, the Instagram page. He posts some really cool quotes and mental tricks, I guess, to use throughout the day or just in life in general. And he's also a sports psychologist. So we spoke over Skype for, I don't know, it was maybe 30, 40 minutes. It was a longer walk than I thought it was going to be, but, you know, it was really positive. And, you know, I think I'm going to, you know, keep trying it out, you know, going forward, you know, through this fight and then possibly after the fight as well. You know, I'm trying to get that, any kind of edge I can get that will help me in the fight or in life in general, really, you know, I'm definitely going to try and use. So, you know, thanks, Frazier. And, you know, we just got back and we're going to go upstairs. I'm going to eat my pre-training snack. And then I'm going to go to Taz. I'm going to do some strength conditioning with Freddie at Black Line Athletics. And then after that, you guys are going to see me do some striking with Coach Daniel. And all the guys there, Blake Smith, Tyler Keating, and Adam Amato, they're going to be fighting next Friday at Vigilant MMA. And I'm stoked for those guys, so we're going to help them out. Freddie showed me a song by a certain artist from Virginia because I was trying to walk out to a Virginia artist. And, you know, it was a dope song. It's a dope song. And so I played it for my girlfriend. I was like, you know, what do you think? And she was like, it's not walkout material. She's like, the song's all right. It's not walkout material.
She doesn't know. She doesn't know, bro. I'm telling you, the whole intro, like, I'm really into music. And it just drops so hard to where he can just, like, walk out and be like, bro. When they hear that, like, the lights be like, oh my.
I mean, I don't think I get to customize my light show, but that would be up to the DJ and them. But, oh man, he's walking out to this? Hell yeah, we gotta make a light show for his ass.
I got fucking hyped just thinking about you.
I know you did. I was jamming. I mean, I put it on. I put it on in the. I put it in my. I added to my playlist. Not a walkout. She says not walkout material. I don't know what to tell you. You can tell her next time you see her.
You did play this song for you.
No, I just did it.
I don't even remember, bro. Like,
Yo, you got it. Hey. No, keep going.
That's it, bro.
No.
Go.
5 more seconds. Go.
Put the gun aside.
See?
What the fuck for? I sleep with the gun.
That's a horse.
Oh, man. Like, you just be walking out to a light. Walking out there and shit. Doing his little shadow boxing and shit.
Oh, shit.
That'd be like, that man would be in the cage like, shit, nah, I don't mess with the wrong one. I don't know. I've never heard this song before, but it's dope as fuck. And I know I don't want to fight a guy that knows really good music.
That's what I always thought. You got a good walkout song, you got a high chance of winning. Morning session, I'm done. My back is killing me. My abs are sore. My arms are burnt out already. My legs are burnt out. One more session, go home and sleep. I'm just tired. has to be done. It's all worth it. All worth it in the end. Three of my teammates have fights next Saturday at Vigilant MMA. It's out in Largo. You can still buy tickets. And it's Adam Amato, he's one of our amateurs. Tyler Keating's one of our amateurs. And then our other pro, Blake Smith. They all got tough fights ahead of them, but they're gonna go out there and they're gonna smash whoever they fight, who they put in front of them. They're all beasts and they give me good work in here. You know, I always get good work. And then I also have a new opponent. I got an opponent change. If you haven't seen it yet, I have a new opponent. His name is Carlyle. He is 8-1, and he's fighting out of California. He's a tough dude. He's short and stocky, and you know he's gonna come to bring it. He's a tough guy. Maybe tougher than my last opponent. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'm just ready to make my debut, and I think he's making his debut as well. So I think it'll be a good fight between the both of us, you know. So I really can't wait, and it really doesn't matter who they put in front of us. You know, we're ready for all comers. We're done for the night, and I'm gonna go home. I'm having my protein right now. It's 9:37, so it's a little late for my meal, but you know, I got to eat around my training. So I'm gonna go home, make my salmon, my asparagus, and all that good stuff, and you know, try and get a good night of sleep and be ready to do it all over tomorrow.